Hey there guys, it's Zach. So I want to go ahead and talk about today about why I became a Dom and why I love being one. I know that it's a pretty common question that I get asked a lot, and I think it's because a lot of the times Doms are not very vulnerable. They don't really go into detail about a lot of things, and I know that even in my personal life I'm the same way, but it's kind of one of those big mysteries about why Doms like being Doms and why it is that we love to do what we do. So I'm going to go ahead and divulge a little bit, talk a little bit about my own experience, and maybe somebody watching will understand that maybe that this is for them too, or maybe that a Dom is something that they're looking for as well. So a little bit of backstory on me. During my childhood, I did not have a lot of control in my life. I kind of felt like everybody around me was making all the decisions for me. And there was a lot of stuff that I got thrown into against my will that I wish that I didn't really have to deal with. So as I got older, I realized that I could start taking more and more control over my own life. And once I started to take more and more control over my own life, I felt much more at peace. I felt stronger. I felt responsible. I realized that this is an energy that I feel comfortable in, being in control of things, being able to take care of those around me, and just have a provider mindset. I felt like I had found my purpose in life once I started to feel more control over it. And I realized that as I started to have failed relationships, whether they be vanilla or in a dom-sub relationship, I started to understand that the more dominant I felt in my life, the more dominant that I felt in my relationships, the more at peace and happy that I felt. I truly believe that I am not cut out for a vanilla relationship, because when it comes to a close, intimate relationship with somebody, I personally cannot feel at ease unless I am the one wearing the pants or in charge or in control. And I didn't want to subject anybody else to that kind of relationship with me without their express consent. And that's exactly why I realized that being a Dom was right for me. For me, being a Dom is not just something that happens in the bedroom. It's not just something that happens in my relationship. It goes on in my day-to-day life. Not to say that I'm out here like trying to dominate people or anything like a weirdo, but I just mean that being a Dom to me means being a strong energy, providing a safe space to those around you, making sure that, anytime that there might be a threat in any room that you're in, that you are the one making people feel safe. It was a way of life for me. That's what it became. And I wanted more than anything to continue doing that and bring it into my relationship. I found that being a Dom gave me purpose. It gave me responsibility. It gave me an idea of who I am in this world. I've never been a follower. I've never been somebody to back down. It gave me more identity. It made me realize who I am at my core. And it truly did help my mental health once I realized this very important thing about myself. I found myself in a place where I wanted to share this with somebody. I wanted to let this energy be something that makes other people's lives better, and especially have a partner that I could share it with too, who would feed off of and indulge in the energy that I had to give. And that's when I realized that a Dom-sub relationship is exactly that thing for me. And now I think I should get into some of the reasons why I love being a Dom, specifically in a relationship, not just as it has to do with my specific identity. As I said earlier, being a Dom kind of came with this provider mindset. I realized that as somebody, if I'm not creating, if I'm not giving, if I'm not providing, I feel as if I have no purpose in this world. I feel as if there's something wrong with me. And I realized that being in a Dom-sub relationship, I could let that feeling of responsibility come to life. That feeling of wanting to be like, I'm going to make sure you're good. I'm going to make sure that we're good. I'm going to make sure that I take care of you and provide and protect, because I just have this overwhelming feeling of needing to do that in order to feel like I am worth something in this world. And that really allowed me to shine. in this kind of relationship. Every time I take control of something, every time I set a hard plan, every time I make sure that something is taken care of for my girlfriend, I feel as if I am doing something right. I feel as if I am at home in this world. Being a dom for me was always so much more about other people than what it ever could do for me personally. I knew that being a strong energy, being protective, was always in my nature, and in my relationship I find that being that person who is just a rock for someone, being that person who makes sure that just everything is okay, it gave me so much more meaning in my life. I love being a dom because of what it helps me give people, because of what it helps me provide to the world. I think that when it comes to these dynamics, when it comes to these relationships that we have, I think it's so much more than just the energy that we provide to ourselves and our partner. I think that a lot of this feeling comes from how we act in the world too. Again, I'm not saying that we should be going out just dominating and submitting to people in society. That would be very fucking weird. I just mean that there's a lot of people who can find themselves in this energy, that can identify exactly with how this makes them feel. Having a dom-sub relationship for the first time was kind of like coming home. It just felt familiar and normal and not confusing. And it also felt like a place where I could finally rest in who I actually was. I didn't have to put on a facade for anyone. I could just simply be who I am and who I was always meant to be. I love being a dom for selfish reasons too, though. The feeling of power and the feeling of somebody looking up to you and trusting you in that way is both so humbling, but also gives you such a feeling of pride that just puts you on the top of the world. And of course, selfishly, I love that feeling. Having somebody look to you for guidance and, wanting to support you and be there with you on your journey, while you lead them to what it is that you want in life. Again, it's humbling, and it is a weight of responsibility that I felt that I needed in order to become who I truly wanted to be. In the end, becoming a dom for me was just about becoming the best version of myself that I could be. And it took me a little bit of time to truly understand that about myself, but I'm glad that it came later, even if it didn't come sooner, because now I find myself very comfortable with who I am, and I find myself at home in this world, like I have a role, and I know exactly what I'm doing. Anyways, I feel like I'm just kind of rambling at this point, but I kind of just wanted to give a stream of consciousness video, let you guys know how I feel about it, and I hope that you all enjoyed it. I can't tell you guys enough how much I appreciate all of you for watching my content and checking my stuff out. You guys mean a lot to me, so thank you guys. Take care of yourselves.